Hello, I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell. Today we are talking about something that millions of you do every single week, thinking you are doing the best possible thing for your heart, your lungs, and your longevity. You're cycling, you're riding your bike, you feel the wind in your hair, you feel the burn in your legs, and you feel virtuous, you feel healthy. But what if I told you that this healthiest of habits, this cardiologist-approved exercise, could be the very thing that is systematically, ride by ride, destroying your erections? What if I told you that the standard bicycle seat you've been using your entire life is, in my opinion, one of the most poorly designed anti-male pieces of equipment ever invented? This isn't an exaggeration. This is a mechanical problem. And today I'm going to expose the truth that the cycling industry doesn't want to talk about. I'm going to show you exactly how that narrow piece of plastic and foam is clamping shut the blood flow to your manhood. And I'm going to give you the exact, simple fixes that can reverse the damage starting on your very next ride. Where are you watching this video from? I'd love to know. Please write it in the comments. So many men come into my office in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. They are in great shape. They have low body fat, their cholesterol is perfect, their heart is strong, and yet they are suffering from severe erectile dysfunction. They tell me, Dr. Sarah, I don't get it. I do everything right. I eat clean, I don't smoke, and I cycle 100 miles every single week. And I look at them and I say, you just told me the problem. You're not suffering from ED despite your cycling. You are suffering from ED because of your cycling. The silence in the room is always deafening. They look at me like I've just told them the sky is green. But let's think about this. Use common sense. What are you sitting on for 2, 3, even 4 hours at a time? You are sitting on a tiny, narrow, knife edge of a seat. Now, where is that seat putting all of your body weight? Is it on your seat bones? Those 2 big bones in your butt that are designed to hold your weight? No. The traditional bicycle seat with its long, narrow nose forces your weight forward, directly onto the most delicate and critical piece of anatomy you have. This area is called the perineum, and running through that tiny, unprotected patch of tissue between your testicles and your anus are 2 structures that define your entire sexual function. The pudendal artery, I call it the erection artery. The pudendal nerve, the pleasure nerve. The pudendal artery is the only major source of blood flow to your penis. When you get an erection, it's because this artery has opened up and flooded the chambers of your penis with blood. The pudendal nerve is what gives you sensation. It's what tells your brain you are being stimulated. It's what triggers arousal and eventually orgasm. Now picture what happens when you, a 180-pound man, sit on a narrow bike seat. You are putting the entire 180 pounds of your upper body pressure directly onto that artery and that nerve. You are clamping them shut. You are crushing them against your own pubic bone. Imagine stepping on a garden hose. What happens to the water? It stops. Now imagine stepping on that hose for 3 hours straight. Not only does the water stop, but the hose itself starts to get damaged, flattened, and permanently constricted. This is exactly what you are doing to your erection artery every time you go for a long ride. The medical term for this is ischemia, a lack of blood flow. You are starving your penis of the oxygen and nutrients it needs to survive. The delicate tissues inside, the ones that are supposed to inflate with blood, start to die off. They become fibrotic. They turn into useless scar tissue that cannot get hard. And the nerve gets crushed. At first you feel it as numbness. Almost every single man who cycles has experienced this. You get off the bike after a long ride and you can't feel anything down there. It's completely asleep. You laugh it off, you stamp your feet, you wiggle around, and eventually the feeling comes back, often with that painful pins and needles sensation. You think, no big deal, it just fell asleep. Here is the terrifying truth doctors won't tell you. That numbness is not no big deal. It is a scream for help from your pudendal nerve. It is the first sign of nerve damage. And nerve damage, unlike muscle soreness, is often permanent. You do this week after week, year after year. That numbness lasts a little longer each time. The pins and needles get a little weaker, until one day, the numbness doesn't go away. You've permanently killed the pleasure signals from your penis to your brain. This is a two-part assault on your manhood. First, you destroy the plumbing, the artery that delivers the blood. Second, you destroy the wiring, the nerve that delivers the pleasure. Is it any wonder you can't get an erection? Now you might be thinking, Dr. Sarah, if this is such a huge problem, why isn't it front page news? Why doesn't my doctor warn me? There are two reasons. First, your doctor is trained to treat symptoms with pills. When you complain of ED, they don't ask you about your bike seat. They don't ask about your hobbies. They pull out a prescription pad and write you a script for a little blue pill. That pill forces the damaged artery to open for a few hours. It treats the symptom, not the cause. Second, the cycling industry is a multi-billion-dollar business. They are selling you an image of health, freedom, and virility. The last thing they want to talk about is how their product might be making you impotent. They will sell you $500 padded shorts. But let me tell you a secret. Padded shorts are a lie. Putting a gel pad between you and that narrow seat is like putting a pillow on top of a knife. Does it make the knife less sharp? Does it stop the knife from putting pressure on one tiny spot? No. It just gives you a false sense of security while the damage continues underneath. And the studies, the industry funds, they are a joke. They measure rider comfort over 20 minutes. They don't measure erectile function 6 months later. But the independent studies, the ones they don't talk about, those are terrifying. A little-known 2023 study out of Berlin, Germany followed 500 male cyclists over 5 years. The man who cycled more than 3 hours per week on a traditional narrow saddle showed a staggering 72% higher rate of severe ED compared to non-cyclists. 72%. Think about that. That's not a small risk. That's playing Russian roulette with your sex life. And it's not just men. The exact same mechanism affects female cyclists. The pressure is put directly on their clitoris and their pudendal artery and pleasure nerve, which are anatomically almost identical to a man's. Women report extreme numbness, a complete inability to achieve orgasm, anorgasmia, and severe pain. For women, this is a silent epidemic of lost pleasure, all in the name of fitness. So what is the solution? Do you have to sell your $5,000 bicycle and take up knitting? No. The solution is not to stop riding. The solution is to stop sitting on a knife. I am now going to share with you the solutions that I give to all of my patients. These are the secrets that can save your sex life. Solution number 1, the noseless saddle. This is the most obvious and most effective fix. It's a bicycle seat with no nose. It sounds strange, but the design is genius. By removing the long, narrow nose, it makes it impossible for you to put your weight on your perineum. Instead, a noseless saddle forces your weight to be supported correctly by your two seat bones, the ischial tuberosities. Your seat bones are designed to hold your entire body weight. They have no major arteries or nerves running under them. You can sit on them all day and you will never crush your erection artery. When my patients switch to a noseless saddle, the results are almost instantaneous. The numbness is gone, the post-ride pain is gone, and for many men, if the damage is not yet permanent, they report a return of morning erections within weeks as the artery and nerve begin to heal. This is the single most important upgrade you can make to your bicycle. Solution number 2, the 20-minute rule. Even with a better seat, you must respect your biology. The human body was not designed to sit motionless in any position for hours at a time. You must, I repeat, must, stand up. I call it the 20-minute rule. Set a timer on your watch. Every 20 minutes, you must stand up on your pedals for at least 60 seconds. When you stand, you lift your weight completely off the saddle. What happens? Whoosh! Blood comes rushing back into the compressed area. You are flushing the starved tissues with fresh oxygenated blood. You are allowing the nerve to decompress. This single act done consistently breaks the cycle of damage. It prevents the slow cumulative clamping that leads to permanent injury. You see other cyclists doing it, standing up to go over a small hill. They think they're doing it for power, but what they are really doing, whether they know it or not, is saving their erections. Solution number 3. The secret 3-degree tilt. Now, what if you aren't ready to buy a new saddle? What if you want to try a fix right now, for free? This is a trick I learned from a pro cyclist mechanic, and it's something the industry will never tell you. Get an Allen key, go to your bicycle, look under your seats. There is a bolt that controls the angle of your saddle. Most bike shops will set your saddle perfectly flat, parallel to the ground. This is wrong. This is the worst possible position. I want you to loosen that bolt and tilt the nose of your existing saddle downwards. How much? The magic number is 3 degrees.
Just 3. It's not so much that you feel like you're sliding off the front, but it is just enough to rock your pelvis backward by a tiny amount. That tiny 3-degree shift moves the point of contact from your soft, delicate perineum to the back, hard, safe part of your sit bones. This simple, free 3-degree tilt can completely unload the pressure from your erection artery. It's the cheapest, fastest way to protect yourself. Get a level app on your phone and do it today. So let's review the action plan. Acknowledge the problem. Your numbness is not normal. It is a warning sign of severe damage. Get a noseless saddle. This is the #1 non-negotiable solution. Stop sitting on the problem. Use the 20-minute rule. Stand up on your pedals every 20 minutes to flood the area with healing blood. Try the 3-degree tilt. As an immediate fix, angle the nose of your current seat down by 3 degrees to shift your weight backward. Cycling is a fantastic sport. It will keep your heart strong and your mind clear well into your 80s. But it is pointless to have a healthy heart if you have a dead penis. It is pointless to live to be 90 if you feel broken, numb, and impotent. You do not have to choose between your health and your manhood. You just have to be smarter than the bike shops. You have to be smarter than the multi-billion-dollar cycling industry. They are selling you equipment that is fundamentally flawed. It is costing you the most precious part of your identity as a man. Take your power back. Change your seat. Change your habits. Save your erections.